All right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 4 of our Secret Path Week events. As we gather today, we are reminded that throughout Canada, we are situated on Indigenous lands, both ceded treaty land and unceded land. This land is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. As a country, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of the land on which we live and work. So today, I acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the neutral people on whose territory I am broadcasting from today. So my name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. I run an organization called Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. We connect classrooms across North America with scientists, explorers, adventurers, and conservationists for live guest speaking, live virtual field trips. So if you check out exploringbytheseat.com, you can find all kinds of exciting events your classrooms can join anytime during the school year. So this is our 3rd year collaborating with the Gord Downie and Chanie Wenjack Fund to bring Indigenous leaders, artists, and scientists live to classrooms across Canada. We have an incredible week on the go with 20 live events, including musical performances, language lessons, storytelling, and so much more. The Gord Downie and Chanie Wenjack Fund is part of musician Gord Downie's legacy and embodies his commitment and that of both the Downie and Wenjack families to build cultural understanding and create a path towards reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. The goal of the Downie Wenjack Fund is to continue the conversation that began with Chanie Wenjack's residential school story and to support the reconciliation process through awareness, education, and action. Now, many of your classrooms who are tuning in today are already doing something. Acts of reconciliation as legacy schools. If this program is new to you, the Legacy Schools program is a free national initiative to engage, empower, and connect students and educators to further reconciliation through awareness, education, and action. And there have been hundreds of acts of reconciliation across the country as students move towards reconciliation in their classrooms, in their community, with their families. So do check out downiewenjack.ca, and you can find all the details for becoming a legacy school there. So we have a great event in store for everybody right now. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have Joshua DePerry joining us, aka Classic Roots. Classic Roots brings the heartbeat of the boreal north to life with his unique brand of electronica and powwow techno. The Thunder Bay native is an award-winning producer and DJ who is impacting the music community with his fresh sound and meaningful collaborations with diverse artists. So he draws inspiration from his life and culture. Classic Roots established his original sound by integrating First Nation songs with electronica music while dancing to a beat of traditional Anishinaabe sounds. So I'm going to bring Classic Roots in with us right now. Hey, how are we doing today? Hey, Josh, you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go. We got you now.
Awesome.
All right. Well, great to see you. We have a great group of classrooms joining us from across North America. We've got camera classrooms. We've got classrooms live on YouTube. Yeah, we're looking forward to letting you take over for a bit, having a little bit of fun. And then we're going to have lots of questions, I bet.
All right. Great. Thank you so much for the introduction. Chimigwech. Buju Anin Jugushnistakazien Makwadodem. What I said in Anishinaabe, I said hello. My native name is Weasel, and I come from the Bear Clan. My government name is Joshua. My artist name is Classic Roots. My reserve is Long Lake 58 First Nation. Born and raised in Thunder Bay, but currently living in Takaranto in the Treaty 13 area, and been here since pretty much over a decade now. And still pursuing my dreams, my careers. I'm a DJ, music producer, also a powwow dancer, wearing my half of regalia right now. And right in the moment, I'm actually repairing my bustles, the ones I usually wear my full regalia when I do performances or powwow dancing. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about, growing up. I was young, in elementary school and high school too. I didn't had really great English. I had broken English, didn't know how to communicate. I have always been a dreamer, always looking at something out there, something that's going to connect to me as a kid. And of course, I was a kid, made a lot of mistakes, a lot of, bad, poor decisions. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the point where music saved my life. And how? I got bullied a lot. I really did got bullied, especially for being a Anishinaabe. Growing up in Thunder Bay, growing up in the 90s, it was really white and black. So it was like, it really, it was a big challenge, and there was a lot of racism. And I didn't know what racism was before when I was a kid. I didn't know these awful words, awful words that, kids will verbally attack you with. And I didn't know about that stuff. I didn't know, like, it just went through me. And friends will say, how come you're not crying? How come you're not feeling sad? I'm like, I don't know those words, growing up. But I did got bullied a lot from like big guys, big kids, and especially had a missing tooth one time. And, it really did help. It really did. I struggled growing up and as a kid. And then how did I get into music? Well, my dad, he used to be a DJ. Well, he still plays once in a while, but I remember him, bought us big sound system in our duplex. And I remember seeing him collecting so many CDs, and CDs was in the 90s, and cassette tapes. There was no Apple Music, there was no Spotify, there was not even the internet wasn't invented yet. So I remember my dad had a big blue bin, a box of CDs, and there was like tons of like different songs, different albums, and one of them was Much Dance 94. And I remember that album, and I remember hearing the 90s Euro dance, and I also remember Daft Punk Homework, the album that came out in 1994. And ever since then, listening to those music, it just really was driven to create dance music. But at the young age, I didn't know how to create music. All I know was just beats. All I knew that music was part of me. And especially in our culture, we say "Made with gun," the heartbeat of the drum. We all have the heartbeat of the drum, no matter who you are, indigenous or non-indigenous. We always have that heartbeat because music is universal. Music is there's tons of music all over the world, and people are still creating as we speak. But growing up, I really did focus on that a lot. And I didn't have no rhythm. Didn't know how to dance, didn't know how to just going with the beat. How did I got into that? I started breakdancing at age 12 years old in Sault Ste. Marie. And I remember moving there, seeing amazing dancers at a youth dance that happens every Saturday night. And I remember seeing these kids just dancing. And I'm like, what kind of dance is that? And it was breakdancing. Breakdancing comes from South Bronx back in 1976, around the neighborhood of Cedric Avenue. And, I didn't know what hip hop was back then, but I knew what breakdancing was, but I didn't know it was part of that. And then, I started to learn about that. I started to learn the history of b-boying. I learned the history of hip hop, the 4 elements of hip hop. And then I got so good to the point where I got rhythm. I was going with the beat. And then soon enough, that's when I got back into powwow dancing, going with my family, traveling different powwows between 14 till 18. And then those 2 big gaps, it really did help me develop my dancing. And that's how it developed me to get into men's fancy dancing. And men's fancy dancing is a war dance. It's a part of a war dance, but it's also comes from the Polka and the Pawnee tribe. And then men's fancy dancing was reinvented in the 1882 while the Wild West show, the Buffalo Bill, the Wild West show that happens across the United States and across Canada. It was based on a show for natives to perform to non-indigenous people. And that style was brought back and it became a contemporary dance. And then you see these dancers doing cartwheels, backflips, footwork, like it just was really amazing how it developed and it became popular in the 1930s and the 1940s, right after World War II. And then till this day, Man's Fancy Dancers, there was like over 1 million dances across Turtle Island from the United States and Canada. There's amazing, incredible dancers. And I'm just one of them. And why do I keep continuing dancing? Is because, it's part of our heritage, part of my heritage, and it keeps me sober. I've been sober for about 15 years. I drank when I was 17, only for 2 months. That's it. And I learned my lesson, and especially living in Thunder Bay, I hear a lot of, even when I was 17, I hear a lot of people who are making so much awful racist comments. And one of them I heard was the drunken Indian. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit, because I hear that a lot, because, especially when someone puts someone down, don't have enough knowledge, don't have, a guide, don't have a mentor, don't have anybody to look up to. I understand that, but you don't have to do that to somebody. That's more like talking someone's behind their back, right? So, I made a big difference. And that's why I made that choice of promise my grandpa that I'm going to stay sober, remain staying sober. Even when I go to techno raves, people offer me stuff and I'll be like, no, I'm good. They're like, oh, what are you on? I am high on life, man. Yeah. And that's what happens. Yeah. They look at me weird, but in about 5 minutes, they go like this and say, respect. I'm like, thanks. Appreciate that. Because you know what? We always allowed to make those decisions. We're always allowed to, be who you are. You don't have to follow that crowd, and be who you are, and knowing that you are the person who can make those decisions. And you're the one who are able to say, oh, I want to keep dancing without anything. And it happens, and people will respect that. I know growing up in the teenage days, there was a lot of peer pressure. But at the end of the day, everyone has to grow. Everyone has to grow, and knowing that they got to leave their, friends behind. If they can't grow, then, they can grow on their own. But the more importantly is you have to grow. And more importantly, what's going to make you happy? What's going to make you happy? And what's going to push you to the limit where your dreams will come true. And that's what happened. I moved to Toronto, also known as Toronto. That's what the Anishinaabe and the Mohawk people would say. And I remember moving here, and I only had $1,500, and that's not enough living in Toronto. And it's expensive living in a big city, especially a city that's like 2.1 million people, and it's all different diverse cultures, different people, different languages, but that rent is high, right? And you know what happened with those $1,500? It didn't last long. It only lasted me probably within a month. And then that's when I started to pursue and be driven and be motivated to find any job at this moment, because I was desperate. I was desperate to work. I was desperate to do things differently. But I know I wanted to keep going with my music and keep going with what I have, and be able to get into clubs and get into festivals, music festivals, electronic festivals. But it's going to take me a long time. And it did. It took me a very long time. Excuse me. But the thing is about being in my mid-20s, being here and growing and learning new things and learning new experience and new knowledge, and especially music, creating music. I remember I had an ego, and that ego was chewing me inside of my heart. And then I remember why I got the ego. It's because I kept my traditions. I did not smudge every morning, did not put down tobacco. like my grandpa would say, put down tobacco when you go for nice long walks, just doing certain things spirituality way. But it's also, I capped that. I put it on the side. Why? My mind was gentrified. My mind was focused on being competitive with other people and not bringing compassion. And that's what happened. And to this day, I'm still working on my mental health, still working on, learning about my grandmother was a residential school survivor, and she passed away the year 2000. And I did not know that I had, depression, social anxiety, anger, sadness. Like, I didn't know I had those symptoms. I thought I was perfect. That ego tells you that inside of you. You're like, you're perfect. You're good. No, it's not. Everyone goes through it. Everyone goes through those type of things, but it's normal. Like my therapist would say, it's very normal to feel that way because you're not alone. And if you are feeling sad, you feel like, if you feel like someone's bugging you or someone's, talking back about you, don't worry about that. What's more importantly, people will support you and be there for you. As I say to myself, that my fiance, she's there for me too. My dog as well. Especially being in the pandemic, within 2 years being isolated, I learned a lot. I learned a lot those 2 years, and I learned a lot how to create more music. I learned how to be consistent with what I have in my time, learning new things, new language, learning how to play the piano. And it just comes to the point where, at the end of the day, what's gonna really keep you happy, and this is what kept me happy: my DJ, music, producing music, and that's my escape, and that's my safe zone. That's my escape right here, the music. If I feel bothered and stuff, I'll go straight to music and I'll put my headphones on and just focus, let all the distraction out of you. And for me, of course, like I am always hyper, I'm always upbeat, but sometimes the music really focus on what I need to do and what I need to get done. And yeah, I'm an emotional person, I'm a sensitive person. I feel other people's feelings, but at the end of the day, you know what? I have to focus on myself and knowing that this was going to keep me alive. This was going to keep me moving forward, right? But as of, just a little bit of it, just a brief what Class Roots is about, I would like to do a little quick performance probably in about 30 minutes. How's that sound? Good? Yeah? All right. So if you guys can comment and say you can hear the music, that'd be great, because I'm going to switch over my sound card to my mixer now. I'm using my mic on my MacBook right now. Hope you guys enjoy the music and have some fun. And I'm excited. And here we go.
Josh, it's not coming through yet.
Friday night, the buses start shaking, the feathers start waving, colors so amazing, the jingles start moving, moccasins moving and shoving and shoving. It was a Friday night, the buses start shaking, the feathers start waving, colors so amazing, the jingles start moving, moccasins moving and shoving and shoving. Don't ever stop being deadly. Don't ever stop being deadly.
Apparently, there's a thunderstorm happening right now as we speak. It's beautiful. It's raining hard over here. I want to see everybody do the floss. Do the floss, everybody.
Allora, buonasera ragazzi, io sono un ragazzo senegalese che vivo qua del Pigneto da tanti anni. Per me il Pigneto è una quartiere da tanti anni dove ci stanno facendo bravi.
Does anybody want to join?
Okay, getting that. sono un ragazzo senegalese che vivo qua del Pigneto da tanti anni. Per me il Pigneto è una crociera rovinato da tante cose che ci vengono a altre cose che sono brave.
Keep on moving. Flying. Stop crying. Choosing. While you're cruising. Music is the answer to these problems. Keep on moving. You can solve it. If you feel that you can't say no more, please hide it for the music is the answer.
If I did go, I did.
Baby.
Miigwech, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? We got about 10 minutes.
All right, Chuck. That was incredible. The classrooms were just having a blast. And the natural lighting from the thunderstorm coming in and darkening everything and then lightening up again. That was pretty wild.
It was. You just managed to see a thunderstorm just happen now. It was pretty cool.
Wow, that was incredible. The classrooms had an absolute blast. Let's smash out a few questions here. Let's go to Mr. Jack's class. Bring them in here. If anybody still has their breath, then I have a question for Josh.
Come here. Come on up.
Come on up.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Can you hear him okay?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Go ahead, Tyler.
How long did you learn to do those tricks and things?
Say that question again?
How long did it took you to learn those tricks and things?
That's a very good question. I get that question a lot. Well, first things first, eat a lot of vegetables, cucumbers, pineapple, fruits. Stay away from junk food. Because when you go with junk food, you'll feel like a slug. You're like, oh. So yeah, a lot of vegetables, a lot of nutritions, and yeah, that's how you're able to develop those moves. And then get a lot of sleep, a lot of meditation, and also keep practicing, because practice makes improvement. Because no matter what, like I remember when I was 18 years old, I'm 32 now. I remember when I was 18 years old, I said to myself, I can't do this no more. Oh man, I can't. Because I remember I had a little belly and I was like, oh man, I can't lose it right now. I was putting myself down. But that was distorted. So yeah, so lots of vegetables, lots of practice. And especially these days today, you can go on YouTube and check out tutorials, how to do house dance, how to do jacking, how to b-boy, how to break dance, how to hip hop, how to powwow. You can learn these moves, but also respect those moves, because those moves will give you a lot of energy, a lot of boost your spirit. Yeah.
All right, let's bring in Chalk River, Mr. Shattuck's crew.
How did you learn how to play?
I started playing 2010. So that's almost 12 years. Wow. Yeah, 2010. So I've been playing for 12 years. And I remember the first time I got these DJ equipment, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know how to hook this up to this, like to these cords here. Don't know how to put these up to the mixer. And, I had to learn really quick. So what happened is I usually do is I observe, like look at other DJs playing and see what they're doing, just get a little bit of inspiration, and knowing that you're able to put your equipment together. So yeah, it took me quite some time. And then for getting really good at it, probably say, give it about 2 years, 2.5 years. Then you get that flow of mixing music together.
All right, let's jump to Petawawa. We've got Miss T's 3rd and 4th graders. Hey, everyone.
Why do you have so many plants in your house, and why do you have a bike on your wall? Like, do you know?
Okay. Why do I have a lot of plants? Well, my fiance, she loves planting and she loves growing plants all around. And don't get me wrong, plants are beautiful because they give you a lot of energy, a lot of boost of energy. But I also watch my fiance water them. And then now I have to grow and learn that responsibility to take care of these plants. It's like almost taking care of a dog. It's almost taking care of an infant. It's pretty much, these are beautiful roots, beautiful plants that dance with me. Like I'll say, hey, did you have a good time? And they did. Yeah, they had a good time. And then of course, my bike is on the wall because I don't have much space. So I got this wall rack for the bike. So that way it just hangs there. And then whenever I want to go for a bike ride, I'll just take it off, go like this, and that's it. Whoop. So yeah, like I said, just it's a bike wall for holding it together. So that's why it's there for now. Any more questions?
All right, over college. Let's bring them in and see if they have a quick question.
Okay. So my classmates and I watched the documentary, turning tables, and you're wondering how did it go in Berlin?
Say that a question again?
My classmates and I watched the documentary, and you're wondering how did it go in Berlin, in Germany?
Oh, well, Berlin was amazing, and I got a chance to get some experience in it. I went to raves. I danced probably almost 72 hours. That's like 2 days. Usually raves over in Berlin and in Europe, usually they go over at lunchtime. They start from like 9 p.m. and they don't stop till like the next day. And it just keeps going. And for me, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't even smoke cigarettes. I just dance. I am high on life. So I learned a lot from that. And that's how I get respected. When people see me or dancing, they'll hand me some stuff and I'm like, nope, I'm good. He's like, what are you on? What are you on? I'm like, high on life, man. Because I don't need that stuff. I don't need anything to keep me going because I already have the energy and just keep the upbeat rhythm. So yeah, the Berlin was beautiful. Beautiful food. Lots of biking. I actually got a chance to bike around, and it was a challenging because the language is so like language barrier, right? Especially in Frankfurt, and everyone speaks Deutsch there, so it was a challenge, but I managed to pull it through by just having fun and coming back here.
All right, we'll squeeze one more group. We've got Mrs. Morrison's group there. If you're there, Mrs. Morrison, you can pop your mic on. We'd love to steal a question. Where's Miss Morrison's group? Looks like grade 6 is in Newcastle. Oh, maybe they're unable to get the mic.
Oh.
So we'll take one quick one from online. Miss Laser's class. Leon wants to know, where do you get your gear? Oh, wait, I think I see Miss Morrison now. Bring her in. There she is.
Hi. So sorry. We were watching the beginning and my students had to move to another subject,
that's
another
okay.
class. So we got to see the first part of the dance and it was fabulous. We were enjoying the music. We had a lot of dancing going on before the cameras switched to other classes. And I kept watching myself while the kids were in their other class. So thank you so much. It was absolutely fabulous.
Miigwech, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, that last really quick question from Miss Laser's crew. Leon wants to know, where do you get your gear? How do you find some of that cool gear?
Oh, well, first and foremost, a lot of people go on like YouTube and see if there's anything that's budget, but I would highly recommend to get something under $400 just for the start, for the beginning, because DJing itself, it's very, very expensive. You can actually have actual turntables, but that one turntable will probably cost you like $1,200, and the mixer will probably cost you like $900, and then the other deck, the other turntable will cost you another $1,200. So you put those two together, that's like almost like $4,500, like pretty much, and plus, I'd say highly recommend find something that's really, really like budget, that will get you going, like a DJ controller that you'll hook it up to your laptop, and you can find these programs either Serato, Native Instruments, Traktor, or the DJ Live. They have that. I haven't played that in a long time. That DJ virtual thing. I haven't played that since I was like 11. But I would highly recommend get something that's suitable for you, and get 2 channels for now. 2 channels. So that way you'll be able to learn how to mix one track to the other. So yeah, the gear itself, it comes from like just investing and saving your money. And don't be spending, stuff that's useless, which I actually have to relearn that. And regardless of, spending it's really tough, really tough to buy things that you really, really, really adore a lot, like this, for example, so I'm just saying you have to save a lot of money just in order to keep moving forward. Oh,
all right. We just lost the cam, Josh.
Oh,
but I want to start off with, you pushed us right to the hour. That was amazing. The classrooms had a blast. Thank you to all our camera classrooms. Thank you to all of our live classrooms. And Josh, Classic Roots, thank you so much. That was a blast.
I broke a sweat, so I'm gonna go freshen up now.
All right, well, I'm gonna pop the class in one more time for a big goodbye. The ones who are still able to be here with us. Thanks, guys. It was a ton of fun. All right, everybody.
In Ojibwe, we say Bama P, Bama P,
Mama P. All right.
Thanks, guys.